West Coast people, have your basic kits going, have your plans ready, where you would go, how you would escape anything. I mean, if you're talking about massive earthquake, you have to understand there's certain parts of California and even Oregon where there's only 2 routes out. A basic warning for the West Coast because of things that are happening. Now check this out. Tar natural gas rises up into the streets near La Brea tar pits. It says a large puddle of tar encroached on the sidewalk and natural gas appeared to rise from the street of the Miracle Mile in Los Angeles Friday. CBS LA's Brittany Hopper was standing near the puddle located across the street from the La Brea Tar Pits and Museum, a national natural landmark where tar has been seeping up from the ground for tens of thousands of years. But this is the thing. The Page Museum, who reportedly runs the tar pits, has not been in contact regarding this situation. As of Saturday morning, it was unclear if and when the crews would begin to stop the tar from seeping out further. And on Saturday, more seepage, enough to draw the interest of tourists and residents alike. So here's the thing. It is actually being pressed. There is some sort of seismic activity that is pressing it outside of the La Brea tar pits. In fact, you're talking about tar actually coming up and seeping up through the roads. That's why people are concerned, thinking there must be something going on underneath, that the actual tar pits, the things are going on underground, and they don't know really what to think about this. Look at this. This looks like something out of Ghostbusters. I mean, you're talking about slime coming out of the sewers and stuff and out of the road. Now, if you can't see this, I will, I can full screen this real quick. I think I can. I will. It says Tar Show, Miracle Mile. And then it says, this is the worst I've seen, says resident Natalie Vota, stopped to document it Friday and Saturday. And it says, but the tourist like Rick Stahl from the Pacific Northwest had one more story to tell when he gets back home. I feel like I know that guy. Yeah, it says, we're from Seattle, Stahl said, and you don't see this oozing out of the streets there. It's amazing. That sentiment was echoed by tourist Don Van Cleve from Nashville. Reiner asked him if he thought he would be smelling this tar this day, and he says, mission accomplished. I can check that off my list as a tourist of LA. So again, California has a ton of small earthquakes, obviously a lot more than the Northwest and a lot more than a lot of places all over the country. Southern California earthquakes swarm takes an unexpected turn, and that's reason to worry. If you live in Fontana, you wouldn't be blamed if you felt a case of the jitters. But that doesn't mean residents shouldn't be on their toes. The likelihood of a larger seismic event, given how many quakes that have occurred over such an extended period, is higher than normal, the scientist said. Quote, people ought to be concerned, says Hawkson. This is probably the most prolific swarm in that area of the Fontana seismic zone we've seen in the past 3 decades. So this is why people are tripping about this. There have been more than 700 earthquakes recorded in Fontana area since May 25th, ranging from magnitude 0.7 to 3.2, recorded Wednesday at 5:20 p.m., according to Caltech staff seismologist Jen Andrews. 3 of the quakes have been magnitude 3 or greater. Now, when you hear that, you think, oh, that's nothing, but we're talking about swarms, so we're talking about tons of movement. You're talking about the entire Earth just jittering constantly. Something is up, something is moving, and here that's a good thing. If we have movement and it's constant, that's a good thing for the Northwest because we've got a locked and loaded plate. So for here, us having these little swarms, it's almost a good thing. Down there, it's not, because they have so many things going on down there. These swarm initially moved northward, but then something unusual began Friday when the swarm turned around and went south, back towards the middle of the activity and the 60 freeway. Quote, "This is somewhat of an unexpected evolution," Hawkson said Friday evening. Furthermore, an analysis of the earthquake shows that activity as late of Friday was fading pretty slowly. Slower than what would be expected for a typical sequence of aftershocks following a main shock, he said. That would suggest that it is going to continue for several weeks out. We're watching what's happening and trying to track that activity, Hawkson said Friday. So again, I would say West Coast people, have your basic kits going, have your plans ready, where you would go, how you would escape anything. I mean, if you're talking about massive earthquake, you have to understand there's certain parts of California and even Oregon where there's only 2 routes out. And say during the Cascadia, people talk about places like Portland. Basically, once I-5 is knocked out, it's like, and then there's a bridge that they say will collapse. I believe the Burnside or one of those, that once that collapses onto I-5, they'll be basically screwed. They can go one other exit, and that one has a bunch of overpasses, and if they collapse, they'll be trapped. So again, you might be safe. You might totally survive the earthquake. You might totally be fine after the tsunami, whatever else. But then all of a sudden you're stuck there for a month without power. They are saying that this is a reality. Look at Katrina. The thing is if you haven't experienced it, you don't think it will ever happen to you. But that is totally the wrong way to look at everything. I mean, we really can have a way, way bigger natural event than anything else. So please be on your toes. EMP Shield is the world's first and only military tested EMP protection device for your entire home. It protects all phases of an EMP, E1, E2, and E3, which an E1 is as fast as 5 nanoseconds. This can actually ground the signal and protect any device in 1 nanosecond. This EMP Shield provides complete and tested protection from EMP, electromagnetic pulse, and coronal mass ejection, so CMEs. If this is a natural thing from the sun, this actually protects against that as well. They all go in different lengths and different lengths of times. Lightning and all forms of other power surges. So if you live in a storm-prone area, this would also help your home, and it's about the 1/5 of a cost of a deductible if you had your house struck by lightning and had everything fried. So really great. They make home, auto, and generator models. So obviously it would make a huge difference, and it will be life-saving if your car starts when no one else does, and if your devices work when nobody else's does. You can get $50 off with our promo code. All you have to do is go to empshield.com/marf, or you can go to http://marfooglenews.com/emp. Or you can go to the websites and put the promo code MARF in and save $50 per device. The exclusive Foogle Family private screening. Clint Ober had a really great time talking to us. He loved the attitude of everybody. I guess he watched over. He saw everybody's comments. He absolutely loved our group. So he extended the private screening of his movie. This is a movie that is going to premiere at the red carpet. Amy Smart, Matt Davis, and all the pro ball players, Deepak Chopra, I don't know how you say it. They are all going to a red carpet reveal of this movie on, I believe, the 23rd. So he wanted to extend this out for a couple more weeks. Access to the full feature movie is still available. You have to get the password via Marfoogle Alerts, or you might be able to get it from another Marfoogle family member. But then you can go to marfooglenews.com/GT. And then, of course, you can watch the entire movie about it and check it out. It is literally something you never would think of. Again, very awesome of them. And if you would like to work with him, his company does all this stuff. I need to change this because this seriously isn't even a full list of everything this does. I use this myself. Adam, Dex and his wife actually turned me onto it. And then another gentleman, another Adam, basically had been using this for 4 years for his son that had autism. So that's how I found out about it. So not only did it expand extend the I guess the attention span in his son, and that's why I found out, because you guys know I have an autistic nephew that I take care of, and I just couldn't believe that something this simple is, and that makes so much sense, would do so much change. So if you guys want to check out the products that they have, that would go through them, and it would help the channel. You can do so. Just go to marfooglenews.com. Earthing. You can decrease inflammation, decrease pain, increase attention span for autism, reduce stress, improve mood, improve sleep. If sleep is a big issue, I have slept like a baby. Even if I go to sleep at 4 a.m, I wake up at like 9 feeling rested. It's absolutely nuts. Improve digestion. You guys know I have multiple internal stuff. I've actually had to keel over and stop the show. It has been so much better. And the first time I laid down on the mat, my stomach started rumbling and the blood was pumping. That's another thing. Once you get grounded, all of a sudden your blood starts flowing. It's the weirdest thing. You don't feel it. You're sitting there, and then all of a sudden you feel blood pumping through your body. And then all of a sudden I could hear my stomach rumbling, and I knew that basically my insides were pushing stuff through. I guess anybody that is in the room, that's in the chat, that has done this, tell them your story, because people don't believe it until you see it. And I never thought something like this would, I would think that this was like, hocus pocus.
You want to know what's going on? What's really going on when it happens? Go to marfooglenews.com and get Marfoogle alerts along with a Discord invitation where you can find your local state group and get together with the Foogle Fam. You'll find fast friends where you'll share prep and intel, and there's even special groups for former and current military. But don't try and steal the valor of those who have really served. It won't go well for you. The Marfoogle Fam is waiting for you.